I wanted to do this case study on one of the PLR blogs because a lot of times in forums I see people talking about how you can't make any money with PLR, you can't rank with PLR, and that's a load of crap because I've done it many times myself. So I wanted to do a case study with one of my own blogs and prove that it can be done. So I picked the espresso blog because I like that one, and espresso machines are expensive, so I figured the commission would be good. So the first thing I did was I headed on over to my favorite keyword research tool, Market Samurai, and I typed in the word espresso, came up with a bunch of keywords, and I picked one that I liked, which happened to be pump espresso machine. And the reason why I liked it is because it gets a lot of searches, and the estimate was that I would get over 500 visitors a day if I can get to the #1 spot in Google. And also the competition wasn't that bad, and I have up here on the screen what Market Samurai is showing for the top 10. And here's what I like about it is that the PR of the top 10 sites, it's not that high. There's a lot of PR zeros. There is a lot of older domains, which I'd prefer to see them be not quite so old, but I think the page rank kind of makes up for that. And the fact that there's some Amazon pages on there in Walmart, those actually are usually pretty easy to outrank because they don't have a lot of backlinks to the page. And that's another thing that I liked over here. You see most of these pages here don't have very many backlinks at all. Oh, this guy here with 67 has the most, and I mean I can get more than 67 backlinks pretty easy. A lot of them do have a lot of backlinks to the domain, of course, because you've got Amazon and some of the other bigger sites, Walmart. And the other thing that I look at is how many of the sites are optimizing for it over here, if they have it in their title, the URL, the description, the header. And not too many people do, but we do have this guy on the bottom, pumpespressomachine.org, who's got the exact match domain name, and he's obviously got the same game plan that I do. So he might be a little tough, a little bit of a competitor, but I'm feeling like I can probably outrank him eventually. So the next thing I did was I registered a domain name. Now, of course, all the ones Pump Espresso Machine were gone. So what I ended up having to do was I registered Pump Espresso Machines. I just stuck an S on the end, .org. And that's what I got. So then I loaded up the PLR blog exactly the way that I sell it. And I changed up the header. And I went in to the home page and I wrote a review on Pump espresso machines so that I could get my keyword in there a few times, and so that it would be, a little review. People like reviews, and I was hoping that they'd read it and click on the things for the machine. So this is all I did, a couple of paragraphs, and then I put in the links to, I chose 3 espresso machines, and I just basically wrote, the information's right there on Amazon. I just wrote what the machine does. And so that's all I did, and I put that in place of where the article links are, and then I left the product links down here. And I also wrote another article. I'd found a couple of other keywords I wanted to use, so I wrote one on automatic espresso maker, and I just wrote a little paragraph here, and I stuck in this widget that I just went over to my Amazon affiliate account and made this little widget and put it in there. And that's it. I put WP Robot on here, and I set it to post every 2 or 3 days, I think. And if you don't have WP Robot, you can just grab some PLR articles and put them in through WordPress and set them to post, at a later interval. You don't have to buy expensive tools to do this stuff. And even though I use a lot of tools myself, in the text below this video on my website, I'll show you how you can do it manually for free. You don't have to buy the tools, but they really speed things up, and you're going to want to invest money in your business sooner or later. But I understand that when you're starting out, not everyone has money to invest. So I'm going to give you the free way to do it, and also the tools that I use that speed everything up. So I started this blog, I think it was about the middle of April, and now today is May 19th. So it's been about a month, and I haven't done anything to the blog itself other than what I just talked about. And the next thing that I'm going to talk about is what I did to promote it. To promote the site, I just did basically a variation of the spreadsheet that I have here on Website Promotion Blueprint. Usually what I do for each project that I have is I take that as the base and then I add to it depending on what I think needs to be done for that particular site or keyword that I want to rank for. So what I did was, week one I went in, created a Squidoo lens, did some social bookmarking, submitted to Easy Articles, Buzzle, so on and so forth. I joined the IMA, which is a program by the Commission Blueprint guys, and it has a really great set of tools. They have high PR blogs you can post to, and an automatic article poster thing, and an automatic social bookmarking that goes out over a bunch of people's bookmarking accounts. And I did use those tools for this site, but like I said before, below this is a written out itinerary of everything I did, and I'm also including how you can do it manually for free. So you don't have to use the tools, but I'll tell you, it's a huge time saver. So this is what I did in the first week, and then the second week it's pretty much more of the same. You can see how I think that this is incredibly boring. I even just wrote yawn right in here. This is just tedious and time consuming, and you can see why so many people just abandon their blogs because the promotion is just so boring. But here it is. I plugged away doing this stuff for the first 2 weeks, and then of course, being the slacker that I am, I didn't do anything on the third or fourth week. Now, if I was smart, I would have just kept promoting it and doing more of the same each week. It only takes a couple of hours to get all this stuff done, but I'm a slacker. So this is what I did, and but even with just this little bit that I did, which I think is not really that much, I had some pretty good results, and I actually did make 3 sales from that blog, which I'm going to talk about next. So here's the Amazon account, and you can see I'm only tracking the tracking ID Pump Espresso Just 20. That's the ID I've used on that site. And you can see here it's made 3 sales. One was an espresso machine, which was an expensive, like $250 machine. And the other sale, which was on just a couple of days ago, someone bought 2 of these Canon PowerShot digital cameras. It's crazy. So those are worth $220 each. So the total amount of sales, the commissions that I'll get at the end of the month, is going to be like $42, which is pretty good considering the blog is only, in its first month of existence. And now the final thing I wanted to show you is the little graph here that Market Samurai has of its rankings in the different search engines. And you can see this blue line is Google. You can see it started off down in position 36 and kind of lingered down there, and then it shot up to number 13, and it's been kind of dancing around up there ever since. The past couple of days, it's actually disappeared down, not even in the first 100, which is really not that unusual for a new blog. It could come back in a couple of days and be even stronger, or, it may be gone for 2 months. I had one site that was up in the top 5 for the first month and a half I had it, then it plummeted down to nowhere, and for the past entire year, it has been alternating between number 2 and nowhere to be found. And just over the past 3 days, it's suddenly shot up. It's number 1 in Google. It's been that way for 4 days, and I'm making a ton of sales from it. So, the key here is that don't get discouraged if your rankings drop out of sight. It's bound to happen. You just got to kind of keep at it. And this one, actually, even though it's dropped out of sight, I'm still getting the same amount of traffic because this is just tracking where it was for Pump Espresso Machine, but it's getting a lot of long tail searches too. So even though the main keyword I'm going for isn't in the top 100 for that search anymore, I'm still getting just as much traffic. And you can see Bing just picked it up on the 15th. It wasn't even in Bing until then, and it's number 9. And Yahoo, right from the beginning, it came out at position 5, and then number 2, and it's up there, at number 2 today. So, it's doing pretty good. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this. You can't, even though I did make 3 sales this month, that's not really typical. I mean, you don't expect to be making 3 sales right off the bat. I may make no sales next month or the month after. But if you get enough of these blogs and each one's making sales here and there, it eventually adds up to a decent income. And if you keep working them, you can get them up, ranking higher and higher and more traffic. So don't forget to look below this video. I have written out instructions of exactly what I did, how you can do it for free if you don't have money to invest in the tools, and a little bit more of an explanation of some of the things that I've gone through in this video. Thanks.